Hey guys, what is up? This is going to be my mod for my Rapidstrike. I'm going to be doing this for Humans versus Zombies this upcoming fall. Most likely I'm not going to end up painting this blaster because it's really cold where I live, and I've had really bad experiences with spray painting in the winter, so I'm just going to wait until the spring, make sure everything turns out nice, and then it's high quality like my other paint jobs. So basically, I'm just going to be doing the internals now, and then I'll probably crack this blaster open again in the future to redo the paint. So basically, for this mod, we're going to focus on improving the FPS and the rate of fire for Humans versus Zombies. This is a Rapidstrike, as you can clearly tell. So it's a clip-fed blaster, and I tend to run a decent amount of 18-round mags. So we're going to be trying to take advantage of that with this mod. So to start out, I have some of the tools and things I'm going to be using in the back just to go over it. My plan is to use a larger battery pack, which will provide more volts and milliamps to the motors, which will improve the performance a lot. To not put too much stress on the stock motors and to really take advantage of the higher voltage and milliamps, we're going to be using two RM2 motors. You can find them from Solar Robotics, and they're really cheap, and they're really good improvement. Even just with stock voltages, they can improve the performance of your blaster a good amount. For that, we're also going to need, we have our red and black wiring, we have several screwdrivers and some pliers and snippers, and then I have my soldering stuff behind me. But I believe that's all we're going to need for this mod, because we're not going to be doing any shell work, and we're not doing any integrations. This is just going to be a relatively straightforward performance boost. So let's get into it and open up the blaster. Okay, so slight problem here. I thought that this took 60 batteries, so clearly this battery will not fit into this tray. Luckily I have other batteries to use. This one is a 9.6 volt battery, which is what I was planning on using. However, I'm going to try this 7.21 for now, because I don't really want to do any shell modifications, because like I said earlier, I won't be painting it for a while, so I want it to still look good. So maybe I'll do a different Rapidstrike in the future that'll have room for that. However, for right now, or at least until I paint this, I'm just going to operate with a smaller battery. It still has more milliamps, which will help, but overall it won't be quite as strong as the extra 9.6 volt battery would be. So I guess we'll live with it for now, but it'll still be a performance boost compared to the stock 6 volt volts that it's getting. So we'll keep going. And luckily I already have the adapter for it, so everything is good. Okay, now that my shell is open, I'm going to start by removing the motor housing and replacing the motors. Okay, so I just removed my old motors and resistors, replaced them with the RM2 motors, and did the bridges in between the motors. I also made an adapter to go from my battery pack to the stock tray using these alligator clips. Now all that's left to do is resolder this back into the circuit and to remove the electronic locks. While working on this, I realized that I didn't really need to carve all this out, because there were two screws on the front here, which I undid and allowed me to take off the tray completely. This gives me a lot more room for most other battery packs, as I'm using a relatively standard connector for a lot of RC battery packs and airsoft battery packs. So this gives me options in terms of being able to use a variety of batteries, as well as potentially making adapters for use of, like, for example, truss fires or other battery packs if I wanted to. As you can see here, the battery pack fits in snugly, and then the front piece applies easily over. Okay, so that pretty much sums up my work through this build, along with my thought processes. I also removed the electronic and mechanical locks. However, I didn't really show that because this blaster's been out for a long time, and there are plenty of really good videos about how to do that online. So in order to save some time, I just didn't show it. But if you want to mod this blaster, I would recommend doing that. So you might have to check for another video. But other than that, that's pretty much everything I did that wasn't a relatively basic mod. Okay, so now I'm sure a lot of you are curious to see how well this works. Actually, surprisingly, even with a smaller battery pack, it still has quite a bit of power, and I might actually have to turn it down a little bit for Humans versus Zombies. But without further ado, let's cut to a firing demonstration. For the purposes of this testing, I will be using an 18-round stick mag to avoid jams as best as possible, while showing you the rate of fire over an extended period of time. I have also added 3 long shot scopes to increase the accuracy of the blaster. In all seriousness, though, this blaster is pretty awesome and really works well. The combination of the solar robotics motors, the rewiring, and the higher voltage and milliamp battery pack really gives it quite a punch. I really like this blaster a lot, and I could have actually made the rate of fire higher by replacing the pusher motor with a solar robotics motor as well. I didn't think that that would be necessary because I wanted to give the flywheels enough time to rev up. However, it might actually have enough power to be able to handle the extra rate of fire. So maybe I'll do that in the future or when I do another one. I really like the variety that I get to choose from with the battery pack, with the adapter, and all the room I have up there. So that might give me some space to either power it up or down, depending on how I want to play. Overall, I think this is a really fun blaster to use, although it hasn't been painted yet, like I said in the beginning. I'm going to paint it in the spring, most likely, when it's warmer out. But other than that, for right now, it's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to use it in a future game for either a position holding or a other such mission. Let me know what you think about the blaster in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you liked and didn't like. And also let me know what I can improve on for my video formatting. If you noticed, I'm trying to do this one a little bit differently, make some small tweaks, but if you have any suggestions that you think would make my videos better, let me know in the comment section down below. So I hope you enjoyed this video following me through this particular build. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this mod, make sure to check back soon for my video about modding this demolisher.